a lot of times with my clients, I talk about solution-oriented mindset versus a problem-oriented mindset. And this is really fundamental to peak performance, in personal development, because we always have that decision. You know what I mean? We can always be one or the other, regardless of the situation. And I had a funny example. This weekend I went skiing. Well, I go snowboarding, but my son was going skiing, and I got to see this problem-oriented mindset really dramatically in action. Now, he's only 7 years old, and this is his first year really kind of skiing and putting his time in, and he's doing amazing. I mean, he's doing so well with it. But he's kind of an emotional guy, and so what was happening is he was getting frustrated. We're in kind of a challenging trail, you know what I mean? He was getting a little bit tired, but all of a sudden, he, instead of focusing on what he should be doing, and he knows what to do too, by the way, because that's what's interesting about this example, is sometimes on this exact same trail, he would do really well, right? But then other times he was just falling apart. And so when he falls apart, what happens is, why'd you bring me on this trail? I can't do this. I don't know what to do. Now he does know what to do, but he gets frustrated and he becomes problem-oriented, right? And so the way I like to explain problem-oriented versus solution-oriented is I like to think of almost like a solar system, right? And so we got our solar system, the sun is the center of it. And so we're always kind of one or the other when we have challenges in life. And when we're problem-oriented, the problem is kind of like the sun, and everything revolves around it. And so we get stuck in the problem-oriented mindset a lot of times because we get addicted to it. We're looking for a cognitive breakthrough, right? And so whatever challenge you may have, it becomes, oh my God, why is this happening to me? What's wrong with me? How come I can't figure this out? Why do I keep making the same dumb mistake? But everything is revolving around the problem. And the problem with that is that the way our unconscious minds work is that we don't understand negatives, right? And so I'll use an example. If I tell you not to think about a banana, right, you think about a banana. And so a lot of times when we're thinking about problems, again, we feel like we're gonna have this cognitive breakthrough. And once we figure it out, it's like, finally I got it. But rarely does that happen, because when we're focused on the problem, we just keep reinforcing it. And a lot of times by asking all these different questions, we just keep reinforcing it from different angles. And so my son was a real clear example of this, because again, once he starts getting frustrated, I can't do this, I don't know what to do, why'd you do this to me, right? And everything is based around his frustrations and his problems in that moment. And what we want to do, and again, we want to do this literally in any situation. I promise you, there's no situation, and who I always use an example of this is Viktor Frankl, right? So he wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He was a Jewish psychiatrist, and his whole family got put into a concentration camp. And he was in there, but he basically, made a promise to himself that, they can take everything away from me, but they can't take away, what I do with my mind. And so he really made it a point of trying to find some meaning, some positive meanings while he was in there. And so that's really like the most extreme version of being able to decide if you're going to be a solution-oriented person, even in the most challenging and horrible situations that there are. And so when we become solution-oriented, we have the same problem, but all of a sudden it becomes, okay, how can I fix this? And so the solution becomes the sun. It becomes the center of that solar system. And all the questions become, how can I make this better? How can I be the person I want to be? How can I make this easier? How can I overcome this challenge and be the person who, is able to take the right actions? Whatever the solution may be, everything's revolving around that. And the more we do that, the more we start developing the solutions in our mind. Again, we come up with better strategies because we're asking better questions, but everything is based around that solution. And it helps our moods, it helps our mindset, it helps our energy levels. And so, again, I see my son, because there are sometimes, again, exact same trail, exact same kid, and he's able to, he's going down it, he's doing great. Well, why is he doing that? He's focusing on the solution. He's staying calm, he's focusing on what he's supposed to do with his skis, he's holding his body in the right way, and again, he's solution-oriented. And so this is always a play for all of us, right? And again, it's not like we're always going to be 100% solution-oriented, but it's always an option. And a lot of times, how you're going to notice this is when you're frustrated, when you're irritated, when you feel stuck, you can almost guarantee that you're problem-oriented at that point, right? And so real quick, 2 words that you can kind of use to know which one's which. When you're asking why questions, right? Why questions a lot of times are problem-oriented. Why is this happening to me, right? Why did you do this? Why can't I change? Why can't I? And we're trying to explain why the problem's there. And again, it seems like a good idea because we're going to come to some breakthrough, but rarely does that happen. And when we're solution oriented, the questions we want to be asking are how questions. How can I make this better? How can I, create the resources I need within myself to overcome this? And everything's about how can I do it and how can I create this solution? And the more energy we put into that, okay, the more energy we put into thinking about the solution and figuring out strategies to make it happen, the more likely we are to get to that place and actually manifest and create that solution. And again, my son's a real good example of this, because same trail, same kids, same equipment, same day even, and yet completely different results depending on which mindset he's in. All right. So keep this stuff in mind, think about it. And again, when you notice yourself being frustrated, that's usually the easiest way to do it. When you find yourself being struggling, frustrated, irritated, that's when you want to put yourself into a solution-oriented mindset by asking, what is the solution I want? What's the goal here? How can I make it happen? Okay, do that, and I think you're going to get a lot further off and get yourself unstuck a lot quicker. All right, have a great day.